Long ago, the world waited in hope and longing for a rescuer, a hero who could heal not just broken bodies but broken hearts and spirits too. People everywhere felt the ache of sadness, pain and loneliness, wishing for someone who could bring true peace and light into their darkness. In answer to this deep longing, God sent his own son Jesus into the world. He didn't come as a mighty warrior or a rich ruler but as a humble man, walking among ordinary people. Jesus wasn't like other kings. His crown was made of thorns, and his throne was a rough wooden cross. He chose a path of sacrifice, not power, showing a love that would go to any length. He came to show God's never stopping, never giving up, unbreaking, always and forever love, a love that never runs out no matter what. Jesus traveled from town to village, not just talking about love, but showing it in every action. He walked dusty roads, met people where they were, and listened to their stories. When he saw hurting people, his heart hurt too. He felt their pain and sadness as if it were his own, and he was moved to help them. He saw that people were sick inside, weighed down by sin, a darkness that separated them from God and from each other. Many felt lost, burdened by guilt, shame, and fear. Jesus came to lift that darkness, to heal souls, and to bring everyone back to God's loving arms. He offered hope to those who thought they had none left. Everywhere he went, miracles happened. Heaven seemed to touch earth. The blind could see, the lame could walk, and the hopeless found joy again. With just a word or a gentle touch, lives were made new. People who met Jesus were never the same again. These stories are windows into who Jesus is: powerful, gentle, the great doctor who heals hearts, the good shepherd who cares for every lost sheep. Imagine standing in the crowd, feeling hope rise as Jesus draws near, his eyes full of kindness and understanding. These aren't just old tales, they're true stories of Jesus mending our world and hearts, stories that still matter today. He came to forgive, to heal, and to call us friends, no matter who we are or what we've done. He invites us all to find our way back to God, to walk with him and discover a love that never ends. So let's journey together and see what wonderful things he did next. The adventure of hope and healing begins now. One warm afternoon, the small town of Capernaum buzzed with excitement. People from all around gathered in a packed house, eager to hear Jesus teach. The air was thick with anticipation, as every corner of the home and even the doorway overflowed with listeners, all hoping to witness something extraordinary. Suddenly, a strange sound interrupted the lesson. Dust began to fall from the ceiling above, and sunlight streamed through as a hole appeared in the clay roof. To everyone's amazement, 4 determined friends carefully lowered a paralyzed man on a mat, right into the middle of the crowded room, placing him at Jesus' feet. These friends had carried him through the busy streets, refusing to give up when they saw the crowd. Their faith was bold and creative. They truly believed Jesus could help their friend no matter the obstacles. Jesus looked at the man with deep compassion. He saw not just a broken body lying before him, but a heart weighed down by pain and longing for hope. With a gentle voice, Jesus said, "Be brave, your sins are forgiven." His words offered comfort and healing that reached far beyond the physical. The religious teachers in the room were stunned and whispered among themselves. They thought, "How can this man claim to forgive sins? Only God can do that." Knowing their thoughts, Jesus turned to them and asked, "Which is easier, to say your sins are forgiven, or to say, 'Get up and walk'?" To show everyone that he truly had authority from God, Jesus looked at the paralyzed man and said, "Get up, take your mat, and go home." Instantly, strength filled the man's legs. He stood up, rolled up his mat with a joyful smile, and walked out in front of everyone, praising God with every step. The entire crowd was left speechless and amazed. They had just witnessed a miracle, God's power right before their eyes. In that moment, Jesus showed that he could heal both body and soul, offering hope and new life to all who believed. The friends embraced, overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. Their faith had moved them to action, and Jesus responded with compassion and power. The miracle was unforgettable, a sign that Jesus' love truly changes everything. As the people left the house, they whispered in awe, sharing the story with everyone they met. The news of what Jesus had done spread quickly through the village. The man's life and his friend's faith became a story of hope for generations. And for those who witnessed it, they knew that with Jesus, more wonders and miracles awaited. After the miracle, Jesus walked by the Sea of Galilee, the early morning light shimmering on the water. The air was calm and the world seemed to pause as he moved along the shore, his presence drawing quiet attention from those nearby. As he walked, Jesus noticed Matthew, a tax collector, sitting at his booth. Matthew was busy counting coins, surrounded by ledgers and scrolls, his eyes downcast and his face marked by years of isolation. People disliked Matthew. He worked for the Romans and took extra money. Many saw him as a traitor, someone who had chosen wealth over friendship, and they made sure he felt their disapproval every day. But Jesus didn't avoid him. He walked right up and said, "Follow me." His words were simple, but they carried a power that cut through Matthew's loneliness and shame. In that moment, Matthew made a life-changing decision. He left everything behind: money, job, loneliness, and followed Jesus. The coins and ledgers that once defined his life were forgotten as he stepped into a new beginning. To celebrate, Matthew threw a party at his house, inviting Jesus, his disciples, and other outcasts. The room filled with laughter and conversation, a rare moment of joy for those who usually felt left out. The house filled with people others called sinners. They were tax collectors, outsiders, and those who had been pushed to the margins of society, all sharing a meal together. The religious leaders were shocked. "Why does Jesus eat with them?" they whispered, unable to understand why someone so respected would choose to spend time with people they considered unworthy. Jesus answered, "Healthy people don't need a doctor, sick people do." He explained that his mission was to reach those who knew they needed help, not those who believed they had it all together. He came to heal and call those who felt lost, not those who thought they were perfect. His words offered hope to everyone who had ever felt rejected or alone. Jesus showed that no one is too broken for God's love. He reached out to the hurting, the forgotten, and the outcasts, offering them a place in his story. Matthew's life changed with 2 words: "Follow me." In those words he found acceptance, purpose, and a new identity. Jesus welcomed outsiders and made them friends. He broke down barriers and built a community where everyone belonged. The party was a celebration of new beginnings, a symbol of the joy that comes when people are welcomed and loved just as they are. Jesus' invitation is for everyone. No matter your past or your mistakes, his arms are open wide. Even the most unlikely people can find a place at his table. With Jesus, there are no outsiders, only guests invited to share in his love. The story spread. Jesus was a friend to all. The journey continued, and so did the hope he brought to everyone he met. At Matthew's party, John the Baptist's followers asked Jesus, "Why don't your disciples fast like we do?" Jesus replied, "Can wedding guests be sad when the bridegroom is with them? Now is a time for joy." He hinted that one day he would leave, and then his friends would fast. Jesus explained with parables, "New cloth can't patch old coats, and new wine needs new wineskins." His message was fresh and full of grace, too powerful for old rules. Jesus brought a new way to know God based on joy and love. The old ways couldn't contain the new life he offered. With Jesus, everything was changing. As Jesus finished teaching, a desperate father begged him, "My daughter has died, please touch her and she will live." Jesus went with him, but in the crowd, a woman who had been sick for 12 years reached out and touched his robe. Instantly, she was healed. Jesus stopped and asked, "Who touched me?" The woman, trembling, admitted it was her. Jesus said, "Take heart, daughter. Your faith has healed you." He called her daughter, making her feel loved and seen. Meanwhile, news came. The girl was alive. Jesus had raised her from the dead just as the Father believed he could. In one journey, Jesus healed a woman's shame and a girl's death. Faith brought healing and hope. Jesus' touch changed everything. The crowd was amazed at his power and compassion. Jesus brings life where there is loss. His love reaches everyone. Leaving the house, Jesus was followed by 2 blind men calling, "Have mercy on us, Son of David." Inside, Jesus asked, "Do you believe I can do this?" "Yes, Lord," they replied. Jesus touched their eyes. "According to your faith, let it be done." Their eyes opened. They could see. Overjoyed, they spread the news everywhere. Next, people brought a mute man tormented by a demon. Jesus cast out the demon and the man spoke for the first time. The crowd was astonished. Nothing like this had ever been seen. Jesus' miracles brought sight, voice, and freedom. Faith unlocked healing. God's power was on display for all to see. The world was changing. Jesus traveled through towns and villages, teaching and healing every kind of sickness. He saw the crowds, lost, hurting, like sheep without a shepherd. His heart was filled with compassion. People were troubled and helpless, needing guidance and love. Jesus knew he was the good shepherd, come to rescue and lead them home. He told his disciples, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few." He urged them to pray for more helpers to share God's love. Jesus' mission was to gather the lost and heal the broken. He called his followers to join in this great work. Compassion was at the heart of everything he did. The invitation was for all to help bring hope. The story of rescue continues. The world would never be the same.